As Chancellor of the University, I declare this congregation open for the conferring of degrees by the authority of the Senate and the Council.
As Vice-Chancellor, I am delighted to welcome you all to this degree congregation. It is a celebration for all those who graduate today. We celebrate your many achievements that culminate in a degree from a major international research and teaching-led university. While you have been with us, the university has developed and changed. We are now a community of 19,500 students and just over 3,000 staff with a turnover of £158 million. It all demonstrates that universities are complex organisations. Indeed, we engage in a range of activities. First, the development of our campus to support high-quality research, high-quality teaching and a high-quality student experience. This year, we completed our mathematical modelling and space science building, which we will officially open and name after our Chancellor this autumn. We have refurbished laboratories for chemistry and for archaeology. We will take over a new £20 million biomedical building at the end of the summer. Secondly, we have started a systematic fundraising campaign with 3 landmark projects. A world-class library for which we have already raised £16 million against a target of £25 million. A cardiovascular research institute for which we have raised all but £2 million for a £20 million project. And in turn, we are looking for funding for a range of new academic positions, as in my view, staff are the key to a high-quality university. If, therefore, you can help us, or you know someone who can, please do not hesitate to come and talk to me at the end of this ceremony. Thirdly, we continue to develop high-quality research. In the Faculty of Social Sciences, staff in labour market studies are engaged in a leading-edge study of work-based learning. And in the Management Centre this year, we have appointed up to 10 professors who are engaged in the study of critical management. In the Arts faculty, archaeology staff have continued to win major awards for innovative research and publications. These are just a small number of examples of our work in the area of research. Fourthly, we engage in innovative teaching. I am delighted to be able to tell you today that Dr. Derek Rain in physics is the first member of staff in this university to be awarded a National Teaching Fellowship under a very competitive national scheme. Currently, there are also special projects in medicine and physics that involve investigations on teaching methods and curricula, as well as new initiatives taking place in genetics education and geographical information systems. Fifthly, there is our contribution to the community through cultural activities, and this is demonstrated in many ways. Our work with schools, teachers, pupils and parents in the inner city comes with a view to broadening access to this university and others. But one of the most important pieces of work that has fascinated me is the work done by our student organisation, Contact, where this academic year 540 students have been engaged in helping pupils in primary schools to begin reading, organising events for disabled pupils, and holidays for children who would otherwise not get one. Those pupils will never forget the voluntary help that they have received. It empowers them. It changes their lives. It's a big contribution that members of this university's student body makes. We are very proud of you all. Our Botanic Garden currently features our third international sculpture exhibition. The exhibition runs until mid-September, and I hope that many of you will take the opportunity to visit it during your stay in Leicester this week. Now, in any organisation, change is inevitable, and no more so than in a university such as ours, where we need to build on areas of excellence. In Leicester, this will mean using our expertise in research and teaching by establishing further strategic alliances with higher and further education. We already have a Colleges University of Leicester network of 24 institutions and have developed a special partnership with Bishop Grosseteste College in Lincoln and Newman College in Birmingham, whose courses we validate and with whom we work. Secondly, we can engage in the development of medical research and medical education by developing our partnership with the University of Warwick, who graduated the first batch of Leicester Warwick medical students this week. Finally, in this university, we can also think about ways in which we can continue to develop higher education through distance learning and online learning, mainly through the work of our newly appointed Professor of e-learning. Already, this university has 6,000 students who study with us by distance learning. So if parents and friends who have come to Leicester for this ceremony feel slightly out of it this afternoon, can I assure you that if you talk to someone in the entrance hall at the end of this ceremony, you could be on your way to a University of Leicester degree, as we will be delighted to sign you up this afternoon. Certainly, in a dynamic university, the list of activities is endless. I've just given you a few examples which I hope will lead those of you who graduate from the university to be very proud of all its activities, not only in this year, but in the future. Finally, I would like to congratulate you on the degrees you have obtained. We hope you will keep in touch with the university, and I shall look forward to seeing you at alumni events. But before I close, I would like you to join me in showing your appreciation to your parents, relatives, friends and sponsors who have supported you through the university. So I would now ask the graduating class of 2004 to join me in a round of applause for those people. Well, that's very good. I hope you will have a terrifically enjoyable afternoon applauding your fellow students. Have an enjoyable day with us, and all good wishes to you for your future careers.
The graduands in the Faculty of Arts will be presented by the Dean, Professor Shattuck. Will graduands in the faculty please stand?
Mr. Chancellor, I ask you to admit these candidates from the Faculty of Arts to the several degrees for which they are presented.
Graduates of the Faculty of Arts, by the authority of the Senate, I admit you to several degrees to which you are presented.
For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, William Romaine. For the degree of Master of Arts in Archaeology and Heritage, Anne Garber. Anthony Granucci. Anthony Lee. For the degree of Master of Arts in Landscape Studies, Stephen Bell. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Ancient History and Archaeology, Aaron Beard. Claire Bringes. Catherine Brown. Kate Kuglin. Karen Dempsey. Richard Elliott Skeen. Winner of the Arnold Wickham Gaume Prize, Sebastian Fry. Eleanor Harris. Suzanne Holmes. Darren Humphrey. David Marchmont. And Julie Narain. Samuel Thorley. Lucy Tucker. Claire Wood. Winner of the Arnold Wickham Gaume Prize, Carol Yeamed.
Well done. Very much, young one.
For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Archaeology, Gemma Bayliss.
Congratulations.
Thomas Cantwell.
Congratulations.
Ranjit Shagar.
Congratulations.
Daniel Coxall.
Congratulations.
Peter Gartland.
Congratulations.
Christopher Lynch.
Congratulations.
Graham McIntosh.
Congratulations.
Stephen Mitchell.
Congratulations.
Lucy Muddle.
Congratulations.
Tracy Raisbeck.
Congratulations.
Georgina Rooms.
Congratulations.
Kim Sidwell.
Congratulations.
Rachel Soron.
Congratulations.
Michael Stacy.
Congratulations.
Gareth Thomas.
Congratulations.
Sarah Turvey.
Congratulations.
Oliver Walker.
Congratulations.
James Westerman.
Congratulations. Well done.
Lindsay Winter.
Congratulations. Well done.
Mr. Chancellor, I ask you to admit to the several degrees for which they are presented by my faculty those candidates who are absent.
By the authority of the Senate, I admit those candidates who are absent to the several degrees which they are presented.
The graduands in the Faculty of Science will be presented by the Subdean, Dr. Gurman. Will graduands in the faculty please stand?
Mr. Chancellor, I ask you to admit these candidates from the Faculty of Science to the several degrees for which they are presented.
Graduands of the Faculty of Science, by the authority of the Senate, I admit you to the several degrees which you are presented.
For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Archaeology, Dawn Bean.
Congratulations, well done.
Rachel Broomfield.
Congratulations.
Claire Burke.
Congratulations.
Clarissa Kenyato.
Congratulations.
Alistair Hill.
Congratulations.
The winner of the Garner Prize, Patrick Skinner.
Oh, congratulations on the prize, well done.
Kirsty Tuthill.
Congratulations.
Victoria Waters.
Congratulations.
And Rachel Watson.
Congratulations.
And for the degree of Bachelor in Science in Archaeology International, Sharon Collins.
Congratulations.
Mr. Chancellor, I ask you to admit to the several degrees for which they are presented by my faculty those candidates who are absent.
By the authority of the Senate, I admit those candidates who are absent to the several degrees which they are presented.
The graduands in the Faculty of the Social Sciences will be presented by the Dean, Professor Jackson. Will all graduands in the faculty please stand?
Mr. Chancellor, I ask you to admit these candidates from the Faculty of the Social Sciences to the several degrees for which they are presented.
Graduates of the Faculty of Social Sciences, by the authority of the Senate, I admit you to the several degrees which you are presented.
For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Valerie Chambers. Jonathan Mulholland. John Wallace. For the degree of Master of Arts in Mass Communications, Anand Gu. David Ngwe. Amradeep Sander. Anne Sikandi. Jing Sun. Kevin Travers Healy. Yanis Vlasis. For the degree of Master of Arts in the Sociology of Sport, Robert Lake. For the degree of Master of Business Administration, Adel Abdel Aziz. Kwame Adu Boheni. Hisham Alaki. Gary Anderton. Ahmed Basudan. Pete Beckert. Pijus Bhattacharjee.
Congratulations.
Axel Blom,
Congratulations.
Leonard Kelly,
Congratulations.
Tony Calvert,
Congratulations.
Meena Shandarana,
Congratulations.
Sue Lee Chang,
Congratulations.
Andreas Christiu,
Congratulations.
Nicholas Corbell,
Congratulations.
Nicola Coulson,
Congratulations.
Andrew Duggins,
Congratulations.
Mohammed Falil,
Congratulations.
Della Fallon,
Congratulations.
Fiona Fellows,
Congratulations.
Derek Fernandez,
Congratulations.
Shane Fernandez,
Congratulations.
Mamoun Gassim,
Congratulations.
Ahmed Genawi,
Congratulations.
Amit Gosavi,
Congratulations.
Linda Grimmett,
Congratulations.
Daniel Hagan,
Well done.
Ariano Harsono,
Congratulations.
Judith Healy,
Congratulations.
Mohammed Hegab,
Congratulations.
Stephen Jones,
Congratulations.
Norma Kasim,
Congratulations.
Hala Kitab,
Congratulations.
Daljit Kaur,
Congratulations.
Rafat Kazun, Shinichi Kimura, Jonathan Kudolo, Nicholas Lipak,
Congratulations.
Vicky Ma,
Congratulations.
Alexander McAllister,
Congratulations.
Hisham Mahmood,
Congratulations.
Michael Macbeth,
Congratulations.
Elaine Mullins,
Congratulations. Well done.
Kazuhiro Muto, Raphael Ofe,
Congratulations.
Belinda Ofori,
Congratulations.
Ibrahim Oskeri,
Congratulations.
Sridhar Parandur Kadambi,
Congratulations.
Rajshri Patel,
Congratulations.
Marcus Ranner,
Congratulations.
Robert Walker,
Don't get the right one. Well done.
Ian Staley,
You got to mix that there.
Julie Williams,
Congratulations.
Marek Vochiel,
Congratulations.
Chris Wren,
Congratulations.
Daniel Yarka,
Congratulations. Sorry.
Teddy Zebitz.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Master of Business Administration, Employee Relations, Johanna Al Fardan,
Congratulations.
Nicholas Cully,
Congratulations.
Seram Klue,
Congratulations.
Samantha Lim,
Congratulations.
Yoichi Takasaki,
Congratulations.
for the degree of Master of Business Administration, Finance, Samuel Ado Norte,
Congratulations.
Joseph Aja Otor,
Congratulations.
George Agluyam Jam,
Congratulations.
Lucas Agipong,
Congratulations.
Ebenezer Agyemang,
Congratulations.
Nan Agyepong,
Congratulations.
Timothy Akpatsa,
Congratulations.
Louis Al Zahar,
Congratulations.
Ashlyn Almeida,
Congratulations.
Patrick Ampadu,
Congratulations.
Eric Arthur,
Congratulations.
David Atsutsi,
Congratulations.
Emmanuel Biko,
Congratulations.
Isaac Bimpa,
Congratulations.
Prince Beoki Achiempong,
Congratulations.
George Beoki Yedom,
Congratulations.
Bernard Boteng,
Congratulations.
Eric Owusu Bogya,
Congratulations.
Yanis Deka,
Congratulations.
Frank Jabanor,
Congratulations.
Jerry Dodu,
Congratulations.
Atta Donkor,
Congratulations.
Nico Dugan,
Congratulations.
Stella Effa,
Congratulations.
Eben Engman,
Congratulations. Well done.
Joseph Forson,
Congratulations.
Narada Guanaratne,
Congratulations.
Abel Gian,
Congratulations.
Matthew Gian,
Congratulations.
Shebu Haruna,
Congratulations.
Symphorosa Henry,
Congratulations.
Maria Yanu,
Congratulations.
Asantewa Kankam,
Congratulations.
Yok Lan Lee,
Congratulations.
Na Liu,
Congratulations.
Evans Luhumbo,
Congratulations.
David Malia,
Congratulations.
Alex Mensa,
Congratulations.
Gian Milo,
Congratulations.
Charlotte Mukalazi,
Congratulations.
Paul Nafra,
Congratulations.
Alex Narty,
Congratulations.
Joseph Nomeshi,
Congratulations.
Isaac Nokawahur,
Congratulations.
Patrick Obem Montumi,
Congratulations.
Seth Kwaku Ansa Obiri,
Congratulations.
Benedict Odami Kento,
Congratulations.
Maxwell Okeri,
Congratulations.
Maud Opuku,
Congratulations.
Lillian Opuku Apu,
Congratulations.
Emmanuel Owusu,
Congratulations.
Marina Pitalis,
Congratulations.
Kwasi Poku,
Congratulations.
Konstantin Revsky,
Congratulations.
Twamasi Sarpong,
Congratulations.
Emmanuel Say,
Congratulations.
Ludmila Sheremetava.
Congratulations.
Joyce Thompson.
Congratulations.
Kwaku Kumasi.
Congratulations.
Yarbi Yaboa Tankwa.
Congratulations.
Augustine Yedom Boeke.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Master of Business Administration, Information Technology Management, Dorijaj A. Nadson.
Congratulations.
Q. Chu.
Congratulations. Well done.
Jacques Rousseau.
That's mixed up. Congratulations.
Ibrahim.
Congratulations.
Sethlin Graham.
Congratulations.
Thomas Yonides.
Congratulations.
Martin Karuga.
Congratulations.
Syed Musavi.
Congratulations.
Anup Nanduvle Dath.
Congratulations.
Colin Palmer.
Congratulations.
Ranjan Paralkar.
Congratulations.
Yorges Thanjan.
Congratulations.
Dimitris van Leusden.
Congratulations.
Balakrishna Venukumar.
Congratulations.
Sheng Lun Wu.
Congratulations.
He will return.
Rosemary Cramp is preeminent in Anglo-Saxon archaeology. Her work has transformed the subject. No one has been more innovative in relating archaeology to other disciplines. Rosemary Cramp was born in Leicestershire, spent her childhood at Gleuston, and then moved to Crannow Grange, near Hallerton, where her family still farm. She was educated at Market Harborough Grammar School. Whilst still at school, she conducted her first archaeological dig when she excavated some Roman remains on her father's farm. This was no juvenile activity. Rosemary Cramp wrote up the results of her dig and published them in the Journal of Roman Studies. She was perhaps fortunate in her home, since it lies very close to the Roman road from Leicester to Huntingdon and Colchester. This road, surviving the vicissitudes of time, was called by the Viking invaders who ruled in Leicester in the 9th and 10th centuries the Stone Gate. Gate, as used in Leicester, is a Nordic word meaning a street, not a hole in the town wall. The road later gave its name to a suburb of the city, Stonygate, just south and east of the university. From Crannow, Rosemary Cramp went to St Anne's College, Oxford, where she read English, choosing the specialist course in Anglo-Saxon language and literature. Her archaeological passion went well with her degree work, and she followed her BA with a B.Lit dissertation on the relevance of archaeological evidence to the study of Anglo-Saxon texts, especially the greatest of them, Beowulf. She was a lecturer in English at Oxford from 1950 to 1955, when she moved to the then fledgling archaeology department at Durham University. She remained there for the rest of her academic career. By the time of her retirement from paid academic life, not from archaeology, in 1990, she had made it one of the most respected departments of archaeology in the country. More than in most academic disciplines, team leadership is a prerequisite of achievement in archaeology. Without a logistical sense and strategic vision, and not least the ability to command obedience and inspire devotion in a team obliged to shift many tons of often noisome material for little visible reward, digs do not get dug. Rosemary Cramp possesses these officer qualities in abundance. Her watchword is "speed on," and they have enabled her to direct successfully a phenomenal number of important excavations. From the start, Rosemary Cramp attracted research students. The long, distinguished line of her students includes scholars from our own university, such as David Parsons, formerly of Adult Education, and Deirdre O'Sullivan of the School of Archaeology and Ancient History. With these students and other staff members at Durham, she has dominated Anglo-Saxon monastic studies for 40 years. She has carried out major studies of ecclesiastical sites, including Whitby Abbey, Lindisfarne, and particularly the two sites connected with the Venerable Bede, the monasteries at Jarrow and Wearmouth. Her digs at Wearmouth were an annual event in the 1960s, when the site became available after Sunderland Council began its slum clearance programme. The site was virgin, archaeologically speaking. Monk Wearmouth is a tough area. And Rosemary Cramp and her team excavated layer upon layer of remains, from a 19th century town development to a Jacobean manor house, a medieval monastery, and so back to the 7th century golden age of Sunderland, the time of Bede. After struggling with sites where early excavations by the Ministry of Works had not been conducted with the care she expects in all excavation work, and piecing together evidence partially destroyed by urban development, it must have been a relief to her to move to the rural calm of Scotland. In the 1980s, she and her team excavated an early medieval church and cemetery at the Hersal, next to the home of Sir Alec Douglas Hume, which provided a continuous 800-year picture of developments in cemetery and burial techniques. The main focus of Rosemary Cramp's professional life has been Anglo-Saxon sculpture. She has noted that it was an immense achievement for the English to step outside their tradition of abstract, non-monumental art and, under the influence of the monastic centres, to portray Christ and his saints not only in those centres, but also in the parish churches and wild open spaces of Northumbria. Rosemary Cramp has led the British Academy project on the corpus of Anglo-Saxon stone sculpture for many years. Volume 1, written by her and appropriately covering County Durham and Northumberland, appeared in 1984. Her drive and determination continue to infuse energy into this enormous project. She has recently returned to her roots and is now producing the volume for Leicestershire and Northamptonshire in conjunction with Dr. Story of our history department. Rosemary Cramp's interests in early medieval archaeology are Catholic. She has not only written extensively on sculpture and architecture in general, but has encouraged the development of science-based archaeology. She is the expert on early medieval glass, of which large amounts, especially of coloured window glass, were found by her team at Wearmouth and Jarrow. Mr. Chancellor, on the recommendation of the Senate and of the Council, I present Rosemary Cramp, that you may confer on her the Honorary Degree of Doctor of Letters.
I think this is really Dr. Letters. Welcome you now. Congratulations.
Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for the honour this university has paid me in awarding me an honorary degree today. It's a great pleasure to have received this recognition in such a distinguished university and in a county where my family has its roots, but also in a university where archaeology is such a high achiever and where it has been supported by long-standing excellence in local history. We were all brought up on Hoskins, at least I was, as well as museum studies. Now, it was at Leicester that I visited the first museum in my life as a child. And even if my memories of those were fairly childish, they were really of mummies and goldfish. But I don't think the goldfish are still there, are they? The mummies probably are. But nevertheless, I was aware of the importance of places like that when at 12 I found I had to report my finds from the dig. Now, the public orator has already mentioned the building which my sister and I found on our farm, and I've been very kind to children ever since who have been wrecking sites in this way. But I still remember very vividly one night when I was on my own by the site, and I thought to myself, oh, let me find something really interesting. Now, I had found Roman pottery, plaster, painted plaster, hypocaust tiles, a 4th century coin, but somehow that really wasn't enough. I think it's a bit like, you know, people expect to find buried treasure or something ridiculous, but any of you who have done your primary research as I did, as we all do, by working in full public view and getting your primary data out with your bare hands, know that you're at the praise of the public who constantly come up to you and say, found anything interesting? Now, it can sound very dismissive if you just say, it's all interesting, but actually it's true. And years later, I realized what I had found in that Roman building. I'd found a lifetime's career full of interest and intellectual excitement, which is still here for this day. And so, for all of you who've got your degrees here this afternoon, I hope you too find lives full of intellectual excitement and interest forever. Well, until you're my advanced age anyway. And those of you, if I may speak to my own community, who have taken your degrees in archaeology and related subjects, you've studied topics which uniquely combine arts and sciences, and I would say fit you admirably for the future. Of course, I probably would say that, but it's true. You've begun on a subject which gives you a vivid and developing understanding of the man-made world, even if you don't all become professional archaeologists. But I think your viewpoint will be stabilized by the long time scale that you've absorbed in your studies. And in my life, I've very often endured people who've come up and said to me, rather self-righteously sometimes, I live in the present. And I say, well, where do you think I live? And you tell me where the past ends and the present begins, and I'll tell you where you are. It nearly always silences them. But it's a truism to say that the past is in the present. But today, my past has truly been in this present, and I thank you all very much for sharing this experience with me. Thank you.
The remaining graduands in the Faculty of the Social Sciences will be presented by the Dean, Professor Jackson.
My apologies for putting some sand into a well-oiled machine. I missed a line. Mr. Vice-Chancellor, for the degree of Master of Business Administration, Maritime Management, John Brophy.
Congratulations. Well done.
For the degree of Master of Business Administration Marketing, Musad Abdullah Musad.
Congratulations.
Mawi Alomenu.
Congratulations.
Magda Andrews.
Congratulations.
Go Yang Chi.
Congratulations.
Ching Fen Chang.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Ya Ju Chang.
Congratulations.
Yao Lun Chang.
Congratulations.
Charles Cilia.
Congratulations.
Ching Ho Cheng.
Congratulations.
Yu Ling Chang.
Congratulations.
Li Wen Chu.
Congratulations.
Michelle Chong.
Congratulations.
Lei Cornwall.
Congratulations.
Mohan Das.
Congratulations.
Flor Delgado Bravo.
Congratulations.
Yun Hu Deng.
Congratulations.
Salman Faruqi.
Congratulations.
Stella Hajelino Du.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Wan Yi Hsu.
Congratulations.
Petra Joseph.
Congratulations.
Wee Ming Lee.
Congratulations.
George Ngua.
Congratulations.
Helen Ngawi.
Congratulations.
Girish Nair.
Congratulations.
Nancy Nelson.
Congratulations.
Benedicta Oke.
Congratulations.
Avanti Ramachandran.
Congratulations.
Rohit Ramachandran.
Congratulations.
Samir Rofail.
Congratulations.
Prashant Trikanand.
Congratulations.
Hugh Shu Wang.
Congratulations.
Wan Li Yen.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Master of Business Administration, Supply Chain Management, Mishek Kioma.
Congratulations.
Vincent Melafonwu.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Angela Porter.
Congratulations.
John Thompson.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Master of Business Administration, Total Quality Management, Adrian Azopardi.
Congratulations.
Samuel Nelson.
Congratulations.
Jenny Williams.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Master of Science in Finance, Jaskaran Atwell.
Congratulations.
Jalal Bungze.
Congratulations.
Julie Gretsch.
Congratulations.
Kim Hayworth.
Congratulations.
Ezekiel Miyagi.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Master of Science in Management, Jamina Joshi.
Congratulations.
Rajesh Solanki.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Master of Science in Management of Quality Excellence, Deborah Brady.
Congratulations.
John Lehal.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Master of Science in Marketing, Robbie Cheung.
Congratulations.
Marika Ferrugia.
Congratulations.
Gail Hopkins.
Congratulations.
Rachel Johnson.
Congratulations.
Siu Tho Sio.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Master of Science in Sociology of Sport, Shuli Darmon.
Congratulations.
Dylan Weston.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Master of Science in Sociology of Sport, Sports Management, Elias Krupus.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Management Studies, Omale Akinley.
Congratulations.
Michael Ashkikas.
Congratulations.
Deepik Badan.
Congratulations.
Imran Bajar.
Congratulations.
Taranjit Bansal.
Congratulations.
Daniel Banton.
Congratulations.
Amandit Basra.
Congratulations.
Anup Bogal.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Management Studies, Hilary Clark.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Lauren Cooper.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Craig Portman.
Congratulations.
Stefan Cuttle.
Congratulations.
James Deegan.
Congratulations.
Paul DeLue.
Congratulations. Well done.
Ashley Fellows.
Congratulations.
Matthew Flint.
Congratulations.
James Gale.
Congratulations.
Andrew Garnett.
Congratulations.
Robert Hawthorne.
Congratulations.
Andrew Headley.
Congratulations.
Rian Iqbal.
Congratulations.
Neeru Judge.
Congratulations.
Calliope Kampuri.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Parminder Kaur.
Congratulations.
Asba Khan.
Congratulations.
Andri Lambru.
Congratulations.
Kim Langasag.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Ken Lee.
Congratulations.
Emma Ling.
Congratulations.
Emma Lowe.
Congratulations.
Matthew Newborn.
Congratulations.
Thomas Osborne.
Congratulations.
Bhavesh Panchal.
Congratulations.
Don Parker.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Matthew Perrott.
Congratulations.
Tatiana Piscinu.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Stephen Pownall.
Congratulations.
Neil Rathathna.
Congratulations.
Mohammed Rasib.
Congratulations.
Omar Raza.
Congratulations.
Simon Romanuk.
Congratulations. You've got a crown.
Amkrit Sahota.
Congratulations.
Sukhwant Sahota.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Thomas Settle.
Congratulations.
Sonia Shah.
Congratulations.
Maria Stilianu.
Congratulations.
Amit Thakrar.
Congratulations.
Chriso Suku.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Sarah Weber.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Mark Willis.
Congratulations.
Andreas Zenos.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Sociology, Gemma Beresford.
Congratulations.
Damien Breen,
Congratulations.
Wendy Brown,
Congratulations. Thank you.
Adam Cheng,
Congratulations.
Joanne Cook,
Congratulations. Thank you.
Elizabeth Cooper,
Congratulations.
Alexis Cunningham,
Congratulations.
Morven Curry,
Congratulations.
Alexandra Davison,
Congratulations. Thank you.
Lucy Dunmore,
Congratulations.
Naomi Etherton,
Congratulations.
David Lawton,
Congratulations.
Kerry Leakey,
Congratulations. Thank you.
Charlene Malpas,
Congratulations. Thank you.
Elaine Myrick,
Congratulations. Thank you.
Paul Millward,
Congratulations. Thank you.
Claire Morris,
Congratulations.
Ellen Stern,
Congratulations.
Charlene Taylor,
Congratulations.
Jonathan Ty,
Congratulations.
Craig Wren.
Congratulations. Thank you.
For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Communications and Society, Rachel Bell,
Congratulations. Well done.
Vicky Bellamy,
Congratulations.
Harmeet Bhatti,
Congratulations.
Miles Burton,
Congratulations. Thank you.
Adriana Caliguri,
Congratulations.
Jennifer Clark,
Congratulations.
Joanne Coker,
Congratulations.
Jodie Cole,
Congratulations.
Rebecca Dixon,
Congratulations.
Lindsay Fairweather,
Congratulations.
James Granger,
Congratulations.
Natalie Grant,
Congratulations. Well done.
Shakilia Gregory,
Congratulations. Well done.
Andrew Hassall,
Congratulations.
Samir Jain,
Congratulations.
Sarah Jameson,
Congratulations.
Alexandra Jones,
Congratulations. Thank you.
Coley Kwan,
Congratulations.
Rennie Lau,
Congratulations.
Odette Lester,
Congratulations.
Claire Malone,
Congratulations. Well done.
Catherine Massey,
Congratulations.
Kate May,
Congratulations.
Charlotte O'Brien,
Congratulations.
Sheila O'Henny,
Congratulations.
Helen Philpott,
Congratulations.
Carly Richards,
Congratulations.
Jeremy Ross,
Congratulations.
Alexander Seeger,
Congratulations.
Elizabeth Slade,
Congratulations.
Huing Wang Song,
Congratulations.
Kim Stanway,
Congratulations. Thank you.
Hannah Stubbs,
Congratulations.
James Thompson,
Congratulations.
Marine Vermast,
Congratulations.
for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Sociology, Robert Aleni,
Congratulations. Well done.
Sophie Bafour,
Congratulations.
Emma Bailey,
Congratulations.
Rachel Baird,
Congratulations.
Michael Bird,
Congratulations.
Wendy Brown,
Congratulations.
Stephanie Charteris,
Congratulations.
Elizabeth Clayson,
Congratulations.
Emily Clouston,
Congratulations.
Sally Corrie,
Congratulations.
Rebecca Danton,
Congratulations. Thank you.
Catherine Dillon,
Congratulations.
Teresa Esterhausen,
Congratulations.
Kate Fisher,
Congratulations.
Imogen Forbes,
Congratulations.
Nicola Gagagan,
Congratulations.
Emma Good,
Congratulations.
Sophie Howcroft,
Congratulations.
Aliyah Hussain,
Congratulations.
Baljinder Lail,
Congratulations.
Catherine Langston,
Congratulations.
Hannah Minty,
Congratulations. Thank you.
Claire Northcott,
Congratulations.
Nicola Pilkington,
Congratulations.
winner of the Faculty Prize, the Sociology Best Performance Prize, and the Ilya Neustadt Prize, Stacey Pope.
Very well done. That's very good. What are you doing next year? All right. Congratulations. Very well done.
Melissa Pounder,
Congratulations.
Natalie Sharp,
Congratulations.
John Shaw,
Congratulations.
Joanne Shin,
Congratulations.
Charlotte Sonnix,
Congratulations.
Hannah Spriggs,
Congratulations.
Katie Taylor,
Congratulations.
Holly Tedman,
Congratulations.
Catherine Waitman,
Congratulations.
Michelle Williamson,
Congratulations.
Anna Wilson,
Congratulations. Well done.
Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I ask you to admit to the several degrees for which they are presented by my faculty those candidates who are absent.
By the authority of the Senate, I admit those candidates who are absent to the several degrees for which they are presented.
Let me begin by congratulating our honorary graduate this afternoon, say how pleased we are that she found time to join us for this ceremony, giving the younger ones amongst you an indication of the exciting things you might aspire to in later life. All the rest of you have had to earn your degrees the quick way, just by working hard and passing exams. I congratulate you all, and also those behind the scenes, parents, teachers, friends, who helped you get to this stage. It is a little over 50 years since I myself graduated, and half a century is a substantial slice of history. Much has happened in that time in politics, economics, science and technology. Old empires faded away, the Cold War emerged with its threatening arms race, eventually ending with the collapse of the Berlin Wall. New technology changed our lives: television, computers, the internet, DNA, the human genome. What will happen in the next 50 years, in your lifetime? There are three kinds of answer one can give to this question. One, we do not know. Two, you will find out. 3, it depends on you. The future is only partly predetermined. Much will depend on your generation. You all have a responsibility for yourselves, your family, your society, and for mankind as a whole. Having started down this historical route, let me take you back a little further to England in the 17th century, the age of Isaac Newton and the dawn of modern science. In 1698, Peter the Great, Tsar of Russia, spent several months in England studying shipbuilding and navigation, tutored by Edmund Halley, the astronomer who predicted the famous comet that bears his name. Peter the Great also took back with him to Russia many mathematicians, engineers, doctors, and naval officers as part of his grand design of modernizing Russia. Incidentally, it said he went round the dockyards disguised as a common sailor, but since he was a giant of a man, fully 2 meters tall, the disguise must have been a little thin. Why am I recounting this piece of ancient history? Because, despite all the differences, it is still relevant for our time. Now it is not Russia, but China that is in a hurry to modernize itself. It is doubtful if sending the Chinese leader to London for several months in the dockyards would now be the right solution. Instead, China has sensibly sent over its students. At the latest count, there were 35,000 students at British universities from mainland China, and the figures are expected to rise rapidly. Now, while I have singled out China as the most dramatic example, it is, of course, part of a much bigger picture. Students from India, East Asia, and other parts of the world have been coming here in ever-increasing numbers. They come for a variety of purposes, but they will return to modernize their countries. It is not only governments that send or finance these students. Many come with their own resources, supported by their families who appreciate the advantages of higher education. As you may know, and as the Vice-Chancellor usually emphasizes, Leicester has been in the forefront of the provision of education for foreign students. Moreover, modern communications, not available in the time of Peter the Great, mean that the university can now go to the student rather than the other way around. Just think what Peter the Great would have achieved if he had had email. So how does this little historical digression help us peer into the next 50 years? First of all, we see the impending rise of China and India with their vast populations and their dramatic economic growth. I've been to both countries frequently in the past few years and can assure you that the figures do not lie. Nearer home, and with less fanfare, the steady enlargement of the European Union is certainly a historic event whose real significance is underplayed in this country. Turning from politics and economics, science and technology, we are all experiencing great things, expecting great things from the application of molecular biology to medicine. You may all live much longer, perhaps long enough, to come back to Leicester for a further degree in, say, 2050. Other changes will come from scientific discoveries that are not yet on the horizon. Science may surpass science fiction. Unfortunately, the future is not all rosy. Climate change threatens us all and is, in the words of Sir David King, the government's chief scientific advisor, a greater danger than terrorism. You, the younger generation, have to persuade your political leaders of the truth of this statement. There are also serious local problems with global implications. Many of them, I regret to say, residues of the British Empire. I once listed 4 of these in historical order: Ireland, South Africa, Palestine, Kashmir. Of these seemingly intractable problems, there has been progress on 3, leaving only that of Palestine with its infamous wall. I hope that your generation will see a just and peaceful resolution of all of them. Finally, as we look from the 20th to 21st century, we should recognize the remarkable way in which the English language has become an almost universal medium of discourse. Science and business, at an international level, are increasingly conducted in English, a fact which, of course, makes a university degree from this country particularly valuable. It seems unlikely that this will change, though, as a precaution, you might like to brush up on your Mandarin. I hope that I have not scared you off the next 50 years. Whatever happens, your Leicester education should stand you in good stead. You will have acquired skills, you will have learned to think clearly and argue rationally, you will have had contact with students from other cultures and other backgrounds. You will need to be adaptable, and you may well spend time working and living in foreign countries. The modern world has no borders. I wish you all every success.
I now declare this congregation closed.